Tremendous morning. Michael McLean, BadAssBrotherhood.com. The toughest advice for the toughest businessmen. Horsepower, not horse shit. What a gorgeous morning. The lake is calm. Looks like a nice day to work on the boat later. Got to get in my 15,000 steps. 70 minutes up to that far point you can see over my shoulder. 75 minutes with my dog Clifford. Back, I got 15,000 steps in the tank. I feel fantastic. Gets me moving before I sit for a portion of the day. Gives me a chance to do my mind dump, to clear my head, to get out in nature. That's the thing about training, is train in nature whenever you can. It just drives me crazy when I'm traveling and you see in these hotels where people are down in the basement and they're on a treadmill or they're working out in the, there's no natural light. Like, get outside in nature, get outside in the sunshine, get outside in the rain, get outside in the hot, in the cold, in the fresh air. It's the most incredible feeling to get out in the morning with nature here. I mean, I walk, I see the deer, I see rabbits and the loons and the ducks, and lots of sunshine today. So I wanted to shoot this quick video to talk about something that amuses me every time I hear it. Have you ever been called, or accused is a better word, have you been accused of being a workaholic? This is something that I watched my father be accused of for 65 years as an entrepreneur. He owned 13 different companies. We grew up in the back of a general store. We lived in the back of the general store when my dad would work 14 hours per day, every single day but Christmas Day. And my dad would constantly be accused by the civilians in our world, the tomato cans of the world, the people with jobs working for the man. Oh, Frank, you're a workaholic. You know, all you do is work. There's more to life than work. You know, you should slow down. You should smell the roses. This kind of horse shit that you get from the 99%. It's interesting because I grew up during my formative years watching my dad's incredible work ethic, 14-hour days, doing everything under the sun to provide for his family. Even though we were, blue collar, middle class at the time, my sister, my brother and I, we never missed out on anything. If we wanted to play hockey, we played hockey. If we wanted to play baseball, we played baseball. If my sister wanted to be in the theater production, she was in the theater production. Even though my dad was working 14-hour days, I can never remember him missing anything important in terms of our family. He would find a way to get out of there and, attend something that we were doing for a couple of hours. I can never remember my mom or dad missing anything in our lives that was important. So you're a workaholic, I'm sure. Listening to my dad, people calling, oh, you're workaholic. It's interesting because in my 31 years in the trenches, I started as an entrepreneur at age 12, selling my mom's pots and pans and cookware at the bottom of our driveway on Saturday mornings at 90% savings. Lemonade stands, hockey camps, tennis camps, lawn cutting businesses, pool cleaning businesses, window washing businesses, the insurance business, barber shop business, hockey business, you name it. And I've had this term, they've tried to stitch this label on me personally, and I'm sure they've tried to stitch it on you as well. Well, workaholic. So let me give you the facts, not my opinion, but the facts of the matter. Workaholic is a word that was invented by people that hate their work. Workaholic is a relatively new word. It's less than, I believe it's less than 75 years old, maybe 100 years old. You can do your own research, but it's a made up word by people that hate their work and they hate their life. If you hate your work, you hate your life. So I did some research on this, about this term, these labels. And workaholic is a term that was made decades and decades a year. It was made by the anti-work group, the crowd. It was made by the big pharma, the big pharmaceutical business. It was made by the depression, anxiety crowd, pharmaceutical crowd. These are all businesses, by the way, okay? Like, you know, just like we have the poverty industry, we have the pill industry, we have the depression industry, we have the, the ADD industry. You know, all this is under the umbrella of big pharma. So workaholic, the term workaholic, has been worth billions and billions and billions of dollars for the medication industry. It's also been, worth billions of dollars for the industry that I'm in right now. The coaching business, the consulting business, the mindfulness business, the meditation business. Fixing workaholism. And it's interesting because when this word was created, it was created by therapists and the mental health industry, and I call it manufactured mental health industry. But it was created to sound like alcoholism on purpose. Everything's on purpose. So workaholism sounds like alcoholism. And when we think of alcoholism, oh, that poor guy, he drinks too much, or that poor gal drinks too much, and they need to stop, and they need to go to rehab, and they need to go to AA and Al-Anon and all this other stuff. They need help. They need professional help. So if you've been labeled or you've been accused of being a workaholic, that term is designed to sound like alcoholic. And you can research all this to make sure to prove that what I'm talking about is, of course, planned labels, right? Planned labels. But I get a really big kick out of all of this stuff where it's the anti-work crowd, right? It's the anti-achievement crowd. It's the anti-personal responsibility crowd. It's the anti-family crowd, and it's the anti-work crowd. So you have to, as a badass businessman, you have to understand when you're accused of things like being a workaholic. All you ever do is work, work is always on your mind. You need to take it easy, all this kind of stuff. Remember, being accused of being a workaholic is a badge of honor. It is a fucking badge of honor. If somebody, I don't care if it's your spouse, I don't care if it's your kids, I don't care if it's somebody that works for the government, some bureaucrat, some school teacher, some government worker, somebody that's toiling away for the man. When you're accused of being a workaholic, you should have a big smile on your face. You should be like, wow, thank you. Thank you. And that's my reaction when everyone says, well, Michael, you even work on your vacations. You get up and you train and you read and you copyright. I mean, you're even working on your, and I'm like, I love my work. I love my work. I love helping businessmen. I love reading. I love writing. I've created a life that I don't need to escape from. I've created a personal world that I don't need a vacation from. So even when I go on a vacation like this week, we're taking my daughter Emery to her first overnight camp. So Krista and I are taking her up. It's about a 4.5 hour drive from here. And Krista and I are taking the opportunity for a 5-day king and queen vacation, just me and her. We haven't done that, since Emery was born nine years ago. So we're taking the opportunity to have a king and queen 5-day vacation. We're going to ATV, we're going to play tennis, we're going to golf, we're going to do all these, do some hiking and all these things together to reconnect. But it's interesting is all my life I've heard that term, workaholic. And now at this point in my life, I take it as a badge of honor, like it's a total compliment. And I want my daughter to be accused of being a worker. I want my wife to always be accused of being a worker. I want to be accused of being a worker. You know what's the opposite of that? You want a life of sloth. You want a life of laziness. You want a life of zero accomplishment. But that's the thing that pisses these people off that make these terms up. People, you know, in the drug business, in the depression business, in the anxiety business, in the mental health business, that's a biggie. They hate their life and they hate their work. And it pisses them off that you've created a world that you don't need a vacation from. It grates on them that you've created a life you don't need to escape from. And that's what I teach here is like, I'm a world builder, right? I teach you to build the world of your dreams. And it's different for everybody. My world is not your world. Your world is not my world. You need to make decisions on, you know, this is how I want my marriage to be. This is the connection I want with my children. This is my physical health world. This is my business, my marketing, my community service. And all these things build up your own personal world. And it's all about designing a life that you don't need to escape from. It's about designing a world that you don't need to vacation from. And even when you do vacation, you're like, this is fantastic, seamless living. So this really irritates people that hate their work and hate their jobs. And therefore, they try to do what? It's the same with our children. They try to stitch on self-limiting labels, right? You know, well, this kid has a learning disability, or this kid isn't very smart, or this kid isn't very athletic, or this kid has no musical talent, and it's the same for positive things. It's like, you know, you can have any belief stitched on you, but workaholism is a biggie. And I just want to bring it to your attention that it's on purpose, and to take it for what it is, which is the most incredible pat on the back. It is a badge of honor. I grew up in a home where my dad was considered by the civilians to be a workaholic. My mom would be considered a workaholic, raising 3 children, you know, 7 days a week, 365. I'm considered, of course, a workaholic, even in my semi-retirement, always, you know, learning, growing, trying to become better, the best version of myself. So all these things, you know, all these things lead to that label. But just remember to take them what they are. They're selling you, they're trying to sell you fantasy as reality, and you as a badass millionaire need to understand the game that's being played. They're trying to paint you into a corner. They're trying to make you feel guilty. They're trying to make you feel ashamed. They're trying to make you feel, you know, to apologize for, you know, building companies, for hiring people, for creating, you know, supporting community activities, for paying taxes, for being a builder. They're trying to make you apologize and feel bad for being a builder. And like my dad says, he's like, fuck those guys. He says they never did anything with their life. They hate their life. They hate their work, and they're jealous and envious that you built a world that you don't need to escape from. So keep that in mind the next time somebody calls you or accuses you of being a workaholic. It's a made-up word, okay, to make you feel bad about your amazing accomplishments. Without you, the man in the arena, the woman in the arena, you take a nap for 6 weeks and we don't have an economy. We don't have T-ball. We don't have baseball. We don't have, you know, Rotary clubs and Lions clubs and food banks and libraries. We don't have an economy. We don't have jobs. We don't have anything. It would be total chaos and anarchy if the small business owner like you and me ever took a vacation for 6 weeks. So just keep that in mind. You're the man in the arena. You're the woman in the arena. and you're the person that makes this all happen. Keep building a life. Keep building a life that you never need to escape from. Keep building a world that you never need to ever vacation from. That's it. Remember to do what we do here, to tell your wife and your children before the sun sets how much they mean to you, to tell them and look them in the eye and tell them that you love them. The most important people, the greatest blessings in our life are standing right in front of us. They're in the kitchen, they're in the living room, they're in the bedroom, they're sitting beside us, they're at the dinner table, they're at the breakfast table. Make sure that we tell the most important people in our lives that we love them and we respect them, and be present when you're supposed to be present. That's it. I am starting up, as you may or may not know, a brand new paper and ink newsletter. It's the toughest advice for the toughest businessman. I'll just leave it at that. It's a 12-page newsletter that I FedEx to your home or business starting in August. It's not everybody's cup of whiskey. It's for top 1% entrepreneurs and businessmen that want to build a life they don't need to vacation from. It'll help you build a business and a life that you don't ever have to escape from. I cover the topics of marketing and money and marriage, raising children. I'm an open book, mental and physical health, time management, all the things that I'm studying each month. I include the best of the best in this 12-page physical newsletter. If you're interested in investing in your family, your marriage, your children, your marketing, your business, your mental and physical health, go to badassletter.com. That's badassletter.com. It's expensive on purpose. It's $97 per month. I say it's expensive, but that's a joke. I mean, it's less. It's $3.23 per day. You spend that on coffee or sugar drinks or whatever the hell you put in your body. So you're either a person who invests in things, or you're a person with a scarcity mindset who everything is too expensive, or I'm not doing that. This is not for bargain hunters or freebie seekers. It's for people, businessmen with an abundance mindset, who look at this and say, one of those ideas per month in that newsletter is worth $10,000, or two of these ideas per month that I share could be worth $25,000 or $50,000, or it could save your marriage, or it could rescue your relationship with your kids, or it could help you drop 15 pounds. This is the mindset of a badass millionaire. It's all about investment, 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 investment. I subscribe to 17 paid newsletters a month. 17, I counted them yesterday. I read a book a week, 2 books a week when I'm on vacation at least. Very selective podcasts. I'm studying, I'm investing 3 to 4 to 5 hours a day in serious study, making myself better, learning things, marketing, marriage, business, investments. I just never stop. Like today, I'll probably read about 3 to 4 hours today, highlighter, pen, taking notes for things that I'm going to share in this August newsletter. And remember, you get one of these cool badass shirts with Be Relentless on the back as a free gift when you do subscribe. You also get a hard copy of my old out-of-print new book from the insurance business, How to Not Get Your Ass Kicked in the Insurance Business. It's actually a book that it applies to any business. The stuff in there I used in the window washing business. I used that blueprint in the hockey business, the barbershop franchise business. I've used it in the coaching and consulting business. It's my blueprint for selling over $155 million in products and services over the last 25 years. That's how much I've sold in all those different industries. 155 million and counting, easily. And that blueprint is in that old book. I have like 50 of them, 45 of them left now in the garage here. So once they're gone, they're gone. A couple other bonuses: you get fax and mail access to me, which is unheard of. If you have a question, you can mail me or fax me, and I will answer that question for you. I put together an online locker room. It's not fake book. It's not anti-social media. It's a online forum just for people that to subscribe to our newsletter, just tribe members. And you're in there asking questions, sharing. I'm in there, and it's called my BadAss World Building Locker Room. And it's a place online that you can go and learn, share ideas, watch videos, talk about marketing, talk about marriage, talk about raising kids, health, fitness, you name it. So those are some of the sweet bonuses I put together. And like I said, if you're interested in subscribing, go to badassletter.com. The toughest advice for the toughest businessmen. You have been warned. Badassletter.com. That's it. Tell your wife and kids how much they mean to you and how much you love them before the sun sets. 2 words that change my life. 2 words that can change your life. Be relentless.